Something's broken, nothing's spoken, but you know it's true. Black dog found you, he's all around you, weighing down on you. Call for me and I'll find you. I will be there beside you. Lean on me and I'll guide you home. And I promise you, you will never be alone. You will never be alone. Beaten ducats, empty pockets, now your stock is low. Problems test you, fears upset you, never let you go. Call for me and I'll find you. I will be there beside you. Lean on me and I'll guide you home. And I promise you, you will never be alone. You will never be alone. Call for me and I'll find you. I will be there beside you. Lean on me and I'll guide you home. And I promise you, you will never be alone. You will never be alone.
Hello and welcome to this week's Going Underground sessions. You've just heard Something's Broken by this week's guest, Tommy Keys. Tommy,
Delighted to be
great to
here.
have you on.
Deco, thank you very much for having me.
So Tommy, you're playing music since the 70s. You've been around the Dublin circuit, you've played all over Dublin, all over the country. You're a songwriter and a performer, and you've obviously seen loads change throughout the years, and you've obviously got a great passion and drive for it. So come on, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I'm mad, absolutely mad for music. I'm kind of on my second hop on the roundabout really, because I played semi-professionally in the 70s, and one band I was in, a band called Sidewinder, was pretty good, and you know we headlined top gigs and radio and television, all that type of thing. And in those days, and you asked me about the changes, in those days, bands could really, there were an awful lot of gigs, there was the opportunity to make money, it was a really, really good time to be in a band. But I disappeared from the music scene completely then for more than 30 years, because I had another career that was beginning to develop, and that started getting quite serious, and had a family and so on, and it wasn't really possible to be doing all of that and being out playing late at night somewhere down the country and so on. So I had to park it, but I was still writing songs, and a few years ago I was getting to the stage where my other career was going to come to an end, and I was going to be retiring and have plenty of free time, and I don't play golf or any of that type of thing. So I said, what I really want to do is just go back and do what I enjoyed doing back in the 70s, go back out in the scene again, play my songs, perform if there's an audience for it, get music out, get the CDs out, get radio plays, and try and do the whole thing again just for my own satisfaction. So it's about 2.5 years now, and it's actually going very well for me.
You're enjoying it.
I'm just so happy. I mean,
Yeah,
in fact, it's like a second childhood, really. You know.
Yeah, you can see you're enjoying it. You're
Ah, yeah,
children
yeah.
there, you're passionate about it.
Yeah, I'm utterly passionate
So
about
the
it.
name Tommy Keys, is the on-stage persona, is he different than the, say, real Tommy Keys?
Yeah, well, the real Tommy Keys, it doesn't exist because Tommy Keys is my stage name,
Okay.
and I won't tell you my real name or I'd have to
Okay,
shoot
that's
you.
cool.
So that's
Okay,
that's
yeah.
that's.
What Mark would say.
But yeah, but yeah, it's actually a very good question, Deco, because I do go into, when I go on stage and when I become Tommy Keys, it is a bit like an actor. I do go into a slightly different zone, and whatever inhibitions or things like that I might have as in my normal life are coming from the kind of the you know, the working life that I had and all that type of thing. None of that matters. I'm just on stage now as Tommy Keys, the musician, the songwriter, putting my songs across. And I think it's easier for me to do that in the persona of the stage name,
Mhm.
because I am actually,
I can
I am a
relate to it.
different person. I'm a different person.
Yeah, it's like a completely character change. You go from
Yeah.
being the guy that just the normal guy when you step on stage.
Yeah.
Like it's like a safety net or something. You become somebody else.
You go into a zone,
Yeah, yeah.
you really, and
I
some, you know,
understand it.
you go into a zone and, you know, it mightn't even matter if there's nobody there, if there's only one or two people there, it really doesn't matter. Once you go into that zone and performing, you know, it's very like acting. You become an actor, really.
I relate to it because I'm that
Yeah.
way myself. I can
Yeah.
totally relate to it. So in 2016, you went to the Sun Studios and you recorded over 40 songs.
Yeah, you see, I had this stockpile. I mean, some of them were songs that I had written for my bands in the 70s. Some of them were songs that I had kind of written over the years and just kind of did, you know, home recordings of and so on. But the funny thing was, about 3 or 4 years before I retired, I decided this was what I was going to do, because the job I was in was a kind of a very full-on, you know, not exactly 24/7, but it was a very full-on job. And I was kind of saying that I'm not going to be able to walk out of that job and be doing nothing. So I said a nice way to make that kind of transition would be to throw myself into something else.
Your passion.
And that was the passion. So I went in, we were in Sun Studios in Temple Lane for the guts of 3 months. Now, it wasn't 3 consistent months, it was about 24 or 25 days spread over the 3 months. And we had 43 songs that we had rehearsed over the previous summer. Like I had a kind of a core band of some of the country's really top session musicians, really
Yeah,
good
yeah,
players.
brilliant,
And we did 3 albums and we put the 3 albums out. So no, I really did. I focused all the promotion on one of them because, you know, it was going to cause a bit of confusion if you were trying to promote 3 albums at the same time. But the 3 are all available and got a reasonable amount of sales. And in particular, they sell well at gigs.
You know, yeah, you
know.
can hear it when you play, like it's something passionate and like saying the song, when something's broken, you did,
Yeah.
and you felt a shiver up my spine, like it was
That's-
really a beautiful song.
A songwriter loves to hear somebody saying that, because
No,
I think
never.
I think what you're trying to do when you write a song is you're trying to get inside the listener's emotions, and you're trying to push a button, you know, whether it's going to make them happy. Like if you're doing a kind of a very rocky song, you want them to be unable to resist boogieing around or whatever. But if you're doing a kind of a song like the one that I did there, you don't exactly want to make them cry, but you want to actually emotionally impact a little bit on them.
Yeah,
you
big
know?
time, big time.
Yeah, and that's what and the whole package, the way I play, the way I try and sing, the words that I write, it's all a package that I'm trying to get that.
And you're
Or
still
get that
sitting down
effect.
and writing your songs, like say, and you're still doing original material. I'd say the wife and kids are really proud of you. Like I'd say they're really proud of what you do.
Yeah, you know, obviously, but I have a daughter who is in a band called Elkin, who
Very
is a singer-songwriter as well, and
So it rubs off.
so she's exceptionally talented. So I think, I mean, I'm as proud of her as she would be of me.
Amazing.
You know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
A lovely songs.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the 3 albums?
Well, the album, An Irish Life, is a kind of a semi-autobiographical thing. I had a lot of songs that I had written from my own experience of growing up in the 50s and 60s and playing in bands in the 70s and then working and having your daughter go off to Australia, which my daughter did, although she came back, and beginning to grow old and all that type of stuff. So I put all the songs that kind of fitted that theme, and I put them all together in a kind of a sequence, and that album is called An Irish Life. So it starts off with songs about, you know, the 50s and 60s, and it finishes off with the song about being gathered around, you know, the whole family back together at New Year's Eve around the Christmas tree and all that type of thing. So that song is a kind of a sequence. I have an album then called The Sad Pursuit, which is much more kind of bluesy. There is an absolutely fabulous sax player that I'm sure you know called Richie Buckley. He's probably the top sax player in the country. He's played with Van Morrison and loads of people.
Richie Buckley, his brother's out in Ballyfermot, Rockskill, his guitarist, his brother, I forget his name.
Yeah, there's Hugh and there's Michael, there's a couple of them, yeah.
But
I was really lucky. I had Richie on the album. He plays on about...
They're from Killock, I think, aren't they?
I'm not sure where he's from, but he's an incredible musician. He plays on about 10 of my tracks altogether, but particularly on the album The Sad Pursuit, because it's quite bluesy, jazzy. I've got Richie and I've got a lead guitarist called Dick Farrelly, double bass player called Dave Fleming, drummer called Ger Farrelly. They're all incredible session heads. And, you know, I mean, I'm an adequate musician. I'm not a brilliant musician, I'm just adequate. These guys are just so immensely talented, and it really raised my game having them doing my songs.
So having them in, like, you know, I'm sure the band was great, talking the old stories and all.
It was great. And then the kind of the jazzy bluesy ones are on that, and then I put all the others onto the third album, which is called Some of These Stories Are True. And I have you know, they're available individually. I mean, you know, they're in Tower Records and that type of thing, and they can be got online, and I sell them at gigs. But at gigs as well, I have a nice little case. I do it as a kind of a box set, so you can get the three of them together in a kind of a box set, and I do it. I do them very cheaply. I do them for tenner at gigs, actually, to be honest with you, just so the people will have them, you know.
Yeah, and they're listening to your music and they're enjoying it.
Yeah,
they're really enjoying it. Like, where can people get Tommy Keys? Where can they hear them? Like, what websites do you have?
Well, if they want to hear my music, probably the simplest thing is just go on my own website, because I have a website, tommykeys.com. And maybe you'll throw the link up or something on the screen, but it's you know, Tommy Keys. I keep saying to people at gigs, remember it's Keys, because if you Google Tommy Keys, you'll get an American rhythm and blues artist who's actually very, very good, but he's not me. He's not me. But if you go on my website, you can see loads of videos of, you know, live performance of various songs, and you can listen to all my albums. You don't have to pay anything. People don't kind of really want to pay for music
and
anymore.
Another thing you did there at Christmas, on a Christmas show, we played one of your videos, Christmas Eve in Dublin. It was a fantastic song, like, you know. And that was native Focus Ireland.
I was very, very. That was a nice little thing that we did with Focus Ireland, and I was really very pleased with it. I had come up with a song that I said, you know, it is a nice little bluesy thing about Christmas in Dublin, so I offered it to Focus Ireland and said, like, I'd fund the costs of it and give them all the proceeds if they would allow me to say put their name on it. And they were very happy to do that. And that led to another very nice thing. They then asked me would I they had some deal with Irish Rail that enabled them to put carol singers and music on and so on in their main railway stations. So they asked me would I do a gig at rush hour time in Pearse Station. So I gathered up a lot of the musicians who play some of the sessions with me, and we went in and busked for a couple of hours, because there is a piano in Pearse Station. There actually is an acoustic piano sitting there.
Street.
It was perfect. And between that and the single, we gave Focus Ireland nearly €1,500. So I mean, it's only, look, it's a drop in the ocean, but it's better than just sitting there and leaving it for other people to do it, you know.
For a guy who's been around so long, you still got that youth and enthusiasm and energy, like, you know, you're a credit to yourself, and you're really an inspiration, Tommy. And you know what? Thanks very, very much for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate you having on. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Tommy Keys.
Thanks very much.
Next week. Bye-bye.
Only 5 years old, smallest kid in school. I loved the way to hold my own was just to play the fool for everyone's amusement, make everybody smile. I made myself so popular only for a while. The whole world loves a jester. The whole world loves a clown. That's me. I was joking around. You were all I ever wanted, all that I could need. And I thought you were so happy to share your life with me. Didn't mean to undermine you or make you feel so small. I never meant to hurt you. I was joking, that was all. The whole world loves a jester. The whole world loves a clown. That's me. I was joking around. I hope you're very happy wherever you may be. You're probably with somebody who's not a bit like me. This room is full of people I slowly start to see. Though everyone's still laughing, now I know the joke's on me. The whole world loves a jester. The whole world loves a clown. That's me. I was joking around. Though everyone's still laughing, now I know